Hi, my name is Vanessa Joy, and we are here at the Fundy School, and today we're going to talk about selling a legacy. So that's a lot. That's kind of a big thing. It almost sounds cheesy, actually. It isn't selling a legacy. It should be creating a legacy or something more meaningful. But realistically, that's what we're going to talk about, because as much as we love what we do as photographers, we also love feeding our children and being able to buy clothes and, sometimes being able to do fun things like go on vacation. So we have a lot to cover. We have 8 basic lessons and then a bonus lesson that we're going to do. And we've spoken behind the scenes here before. I'm hoping that everyone here is going to also participate and tell their story, jump in with questions and comments that I'm sure you guys at home are going to have as well. Why don't we start going around, and you can just tell me your name, type of photography you're in, and maybe your biggest fear with selling printed products.
Hi, I'm Mun Lee with Mun Lee Photography, and I do mainly families and wedding photography. I would say my biggest fear with selling is not selling too much like a salesperson. That would be my biggest.
I'm Emily with Emily G Photography. I do weddings, babies, and branding work. And my biggest fear is overwhelming clients with too many things and too many options.
Hi, I'm Jamie with Platts Photography. I do weddings and portraits, and I would say that my biggest fear is not being able to convince my clients of the importance of albums and printed products.
Hi, I'm Hector, and I'm 5 Photography, and I do weddings and portraits. And my biggest fear is to be able to explain people that prints are important, because now everything is digital. So it's hard for me to explain people that.
Hi, I'm Amanda Shama with Ambient Sky, and my biggest fear is probably not to sound salesy as well, because I hate to be sold to. So whenever I'm trying to sell or share what I think is important, immediately in the back of my mind I start thinking, oh no, they're gonna think I'm trying to push something on them, which most of us hate being pushed on. So
Definitely. And I love that 2 of you guys actually mentioned that, because that's a big part of what we're going to talk about today. We're filming this in the Portland area, if you guys don't know. So you guys are mostly from this Portland, Oregon area. I am the opposite. I am from more New York City area. And we have no tolerance for salespeople in the Northeast. We just don't. And we smell it a mile away. So there's actually a whole section on that. I have a lot to talk about pricing and making sure you don't overwhelm your clients, because that's really easy. We have so many things here by Miller's. We've got canvases and books, and it's overwhelming for us. We go to trade shows, we see all these beautiful things, we want to sell them all to our clients, but really we can't realistically, because it will be overwhelming, and then you're just kind of, I don't know, product vomiting on them, right? So they have too many options, and that's perfect. And then, explaining the value, why they need it, especially in a digital world. We were sitting here before, and I'm thinking to myself, my daughter is now 2.5 years old. I only printed maybe like 1 book of pictures of her when she was younger, and it's such a shame, and so many of our clients go through the same thing. All right, so we're going to start with lesson 1 in this series. It's called Get Moving. So why are we doing this? Why are we doing in-person sales, and how do we actually start? Because in addition to the products being overwhelming, just starting, whether you're starting selling printed products from the beginning or trying to start a new way of doing it or doing it better, can be very, very intimidating. So I always tell people that they should never take advice from anyone who has no idea what they're talking about. So I do like to tell you a little bit about me, just so you know that I do know what I'm talking about. Not that I know everything, but I certainly do have the experience. So I've been doing weddings, I think, for 15 to 18 years, honestly. If I don't know exactly, because then I have to do the math and then I think how old I am, and then we just don't do that. So I've been doing it for quite some time, and again, in the New York, New Jersey area, Right now, my goals are around 20 weddings a year. I don't like to take more than that. I did 40 and 30 and 25, and now I'm down at 20, and that's a happy spot for me. So with that, all of my clients average about $10,000 to $12,000 per client by the time they walk out the door. As I think the highest sale I had last year altogether was somewhere over $23,000 for one wedding, and they certainly did not pay $23,000 for me to roll out of bed that morning. That was printed products and a lot of albums and canvases and things like that. So that's me. So I do make a six-figure income off of photography. This is how I put food on my table. This is, my livelihood. I do have a workflow also so that I am not inundated with work during the week. And I think making sure that you have tools that help you, like Fundy software, like some of the other things I'll probably talk about here, is so invaluable. I only work in my wedding photography business about 2 to 4 hours a week. So that's it, unless I'm shooting weddings, because those take 10 hours, 12 hours. So that's a little bit about me, kind of where I am right now, and then the history of what I did. But I wasn't always doing in-person sales. I was always offering albums and maybe doing it a little bit incorrectly, but I wasn't going the extra mile and telling them that, hey, your album can be bigger. Hey, you can have a canvas to put on your wall. And I remember it was, I think 2013 is when it all started to change. And it was the scariest thing for me. I remember first making price lists to do some kind of after sales meeting, and I had all the same fears. Am I giving them too much? Am I gonna sound too salesy? And are they just gonna laugh at me and not buy a single thing? And just by doing nothing else than 2013, offering upgrades to my clients afterwards, I made an extra $20,000 in 1 year, just by making price lists. So it was crazy for me being able to go from, I was making money, I was selling albums, but changing how I did it to be more effective, and then servicing my clients so that I'm giving them the opportunity to do more with their pictures. Because it is such a disservice to our clients when we don't give them that opportunity. I've had brides pre-2013, I've had them come back to me like, we don't have a wedding portrait. I never printed one. Can I do a canvas, or can I print something through you? And I'm smacking myself on the head just thinking of all the money that I lost pre-2013 before I was offering all this stuff to my clients. So, but now it's changed, and it's definitely added income with really almost no work at all. And I don't feel salesy, so we'll get to that part too. So, understanding this for yourself, just getting a grasp on doing in-person sales or selling more than you already are, it will always be no if you don't ask, right? I think that's one of those things that our mother tells us, or maybe they tell boys this, I don't think they tell girls this, but if you don't ask her to the prom, then the answer is always gonna be no, right? And it's the same kind of thing, if you don't ask, if you don't offer these things to your clients, the answer is always going to be no. So the very least you can do is ask, and you don't have to do it in a pushy way, but just offering it. The opposite side of that is not offering it. Not saying, hey, your album comes with 30 pages in it, but you could add more. Because if you don't tell them that, then they just think, oh no, my album has 30 pages in it. I have to cut down all these family photos that I really would have wanted. Or, we do framed portraits, we do canvases, wall art. They don't know that, and you're giving them the digital file, so they think that they have to do that on their own. And you see how it's an incomplete service. It's not really being there for your clients. So making sure that, one, you ask, and two, that you're making these things available makes a big difference. And then offering it creates more possibilities. So if I'm offering something to them like wall art in general, now I can say, well, you know what, you don't have to do just one photo, you can do a cluster of photos, or you can print on metal or on glass or on wood or whatever else it is. And stuff like that, we know, aids to social media, which we'll talk about more later as well, because something unique is going to last for your clients as opposed to something particularly boring. So you just want to try to make it happen. So this lesson what I want everyone, and you guys at home too, to make sure that you do is to just try this. Step 1, find out what your clients actually want. So for me, I have a very weird position because I live in New Jersey, but I shoot Manhattan weddings. I go west and I shoot Pennsylvania barn weddings. I go east and I shoot beachy weddings. And then I have your just run-of-the-mill, honestly, like wedding factory type venue, and completely gaudy weddings, really. So I have everything. So my clients, what they want, my city ones, they want stuff that's like chic, like printed on metal. My barn ones, they want something that's rustic, printed on wood, or some like a linen like this on their album. A lot of people want leathers. Some other people want the glass and the acrylics. So for me, I do have to kind of offer them all these things, but I don't throw it at them either. We'll get into how we offer it to which client. But find out what your clients want. What is it, I don't know, that unifies your clients? You guys can probably tell me a little bit about the weddings and the climate here. Portland is super like cute, chic. I would imagine things like glass maybe wouldn't go over well because you're all shaking your heads, you're like, nah. But maybe kind of like rustic metals would go over well. Maybe some linens. Leathers are kind of like a unifying thing most people like. Woody stuff, yeah, right? So find out what your clients want, because the last thing you want to do is, I don't know, offer them something that nobody likes, right? So step 1, find out what your clients actually want. Step number 2, find out what you want. These are your pictures. This is your brand. This is how your work, your art is going to be printed, portrayed, and lasted, created into an heirloom, a legacy. So if you don't like glass, don't offer it. Don't print it. If, maybe everyone wants the woodsy thing, but if you're not into printing your stuff on wood because it reminds you of like your parents' wedding photo, did you ever see those? When they used to like legit cut a branch and like thin and the bark was around the edge of it, and you don't want to offer that because it reminds you of that, then don't. This is your business. You want to make sure that what you're offering is also lines up with your brand. So find out what you actually want. Step number 3, create packages that work. We're not giving these away, okay? We're gonna go over pricing, how to create effective pricing, both in the beginning when you're booking your clients and then afterwards when you're trying to upsell them. So create packages that work with a nice mix of what they want and then what you want. And then step number 4, sounds silly, offer it to your clients. One of the easiest things I did pre-2013 is I offered them little upgrades kind of here and there. So one thing I give all of my clients, complimentary thank you notes. Really, really simple. They're 5x5 flat, they're from Miller's, press printed products. They usually print on the pearl paper. People like the pearl paper. And I give it to them for free. Because for me, that's like direct mail advertising, and they pay for the stamp. And they do all the work and they address it. My logo goes on it, so to me I think it's great marketing and advertising. And they love it, that's something a little complimentary I can throw in. But I offer them upgrades. So just pre-2013, when I was simply offering, hey, you have this complimentary thank you note, but you can upgrade it. You can upgrade it to a folding card or a tri-folded card or a die cut card. I made my money back on the free cards that I was giving them, and then some, just by offering it. So just remember, offering whatever it is that you end up making really, really leads to money. And at that point, what is there to lose? Again, we're gonna learn how to do it in a way that's not pushy. We're gonna learn how to do it in a way that we're all comfortable with, and we're all gonna make more money and go on vacation, more often. The nice thing about this too, there's no investment here. There's nothing. Maybe we get a few sample products from Miller's, but that's minimal, the amount of investment. It's not like when you first started photography and you had to invest thousands of dollars in gear, like, hey, I hope someone books me and this I can pay off my credit card bill. There's no investment here monetarily, or very, very little. It's just your time, just deciding what you want to do, what's good for your clients, and creating the package. So it's so nice that you can do this and just make money. You're not gonna lose money by doing these. So I'd love to hear from you guys because we're nearing the end of lesson 1. Are you guys ready to make changes in your business? I'm curious because I'm sure we're all at different points. where you are in how you're selling or what you're selling or what you want to improve. So maybe we can do that so our audience can relate to you guys a little bit. You can start wherever. We don't have to be like teacher.
I think that I'm working on doing these things, and it just, step 4, it seems obvious, but having a specific set price list, your album comes with 30 pages, that's 15 spreads, blah, blah, blah. Oh, and you can upgrade it too. You can add more pages, but I haven't actually said, and this is the price list for that, should you decide you want to do that.
Right. It's just like you're hanging all the pretty things on your wall, and they walk in and they're like, oh my God, I love this. And that's where the conversation ends.
Yeah, isn't it pretty?
It's funny how we forget that little step number 4.
Yeah.
Where I'm at is I do a great job of the pre-consultation and then creating a relationship with my clients and then working with my clients. And then I send them their online gallery and their beautiful printed thumb drive. And I'm like, bye-bye. Like finding the time and transitioning my mindset to also keeping them on longer and not being done with that wedding when that's delivered to bring them back into the studio. Making that worth their while, making that relationship keep going is kind of where I want to transition to because I see the value. It's just, it feels like a lot more work, but I know it'll be worth it.
I like that. That's interesting. We're going to talk about that. And if I don't, remind me because I know perfect little spot where it goes.
And I'm at a place where most of my clients come and they just want the digitals. You hear it all the time. I just want the digitals because they see the price list and they're like, well, I can get this done somewhere else for a lot cheaper. I can go to Costco so it's all about educating the client, and I understand that, and I think that's where I need to be better at is educating clients. Is that these are more quality. There's the colors might not turn exactly, so I'm not. There's all kinds of things that I'm at right now, and I think education is key.
That's good. I love that.
Now listening to you, I think I didn't want to go to all the pain of this by myself because I think printing is important, but I didn't want to. It's easy for me just to get digitals and be done, right? And I think I was thinking in that way, but now I'm starting seeing more possibilities of doing better with my business, offering print, and that was my main thing. Like I don't want to go through all the problems like talking with people and offering stuff, but then. Let me think.
I'm kind of at a 50-50 point, so I do have my clients come in and we go over everything after the wedding day or the portrait session. But still, because of my lack of confidence in selling, I feel like I don't educate them well enough probably so that they see the value in if they're not already in that mindset. So half of them come in and they're gung-ho. They're like, okay, we love this album, or we've already have the album and we, want to upgrade all of that. But just kind of educating the ones who are kind of on the fence or who are, I can just go to Costco. Can I say a brand? Or store.
And we love Costco. Right. They have these really great little Oxy muffins that I love.
Right, exactly. But, so, just educating them better and being more confident in understanding, where they are and what would be good for them as well is probably.
Love it. I love how honest all of you guys are. That's going to be really helpful. I'm not giving you any pat answers right now, by the way. I'm not a fan of that, Facebook question and answer thing where it's like, oh, you have this question. Let me just tell you the thing that's going to solve all your problems. We're not going to do that because that doesn't really help you in the long run. So all these things we can get to in the following lessons. So to recap, lesson number 1, honestly, it's really just this. This is what we need to do. We need to get over that hump. We need to figure out what it is that we want to offer our clients that they also want, create packages for it, and then start offering it to them. We're going to get into lesson 2 after this short commercial break. But we'll be back with lesson 2.